Okay, welcome to just a quick intro video for Steel Division Normandy 44. If you are familiar with the War Game series, this is a continuation of that in terms of controls, decks. There's some minor changes for the better. There are some really key battle changes that make this a much better game, both for the noobs and the advanced players alike. So, I don't know if I just want to maybe get into look at some of the units for this game. So, just being in the beta, not everything's released yet, but this is kind of what everyone's been saying for a couple years. Let's go to World War II. So it's a lot of ballistics. There are some units that have rockets. These are all historical units. It's got a really great nostalgia to it. Sets up for a much different pace than Wargame. There's not a lot of tanks here in 44 that have stabilizers. So you can't just build some T-80s and T-72s, throw down some rocket arty, and then do a tack move across the map. So this is pretty exciting. You'll be familiar with AP and HE. What's nice here too, I think when they teamed up with Paradox, they got a lot of support in the doing the little things the right way. So you can hover over a lot of different things, and there's a lot of information here and everywhere. But you're familiar with HE, AP, rate of fire, the weapon types, um, stealth, speed, off-road and road, optics, armor, front, side, rear, and then the top. They don't give an armor value to the top. It seems to be just enclosed or open. So we'll have to figure some things out here. Okay. So, and there's graphic cards for each one of these units. So some really nice units going on. This really sets the stage so this is Normandy 44, so you don't expect to see any Japanese units, but if there's a DLC coming out that's called, Iwo Jima, or Pacific 45, or North Africa 42, or Italy 43, you can expect to see some different countries. So right now the decks that are released are U.S. units, and then a United Kingdom, so England, Scotland units. But one other major feature is the experience level, so which is a morale boost. So this unit right here comes out with one experience star, and when it goes in a radius of other units, it lends that star to those, and if the stars stack as well, so that gives an overall morale boost. And then there's also these leader stars. Units close to a leader have their experience increased by one level. They won't surrender, perform normally even when behind enemy lines, and receive only half the suppression. So that's big. That's big right there. Familiar with all the war game, having the experience of each unit going up to 5 stars. So now we can almost goes all the way back to European escalation when you have the veterancy boost to begin with. So that's a big change. But yeah, just a lot of ballistics, anti-tank, tank. There is off the map artillery, so I don't know if I have any in this deck. Yes, I do. I have so this tank essentially has a spotter that comes with it, and it spots for this 155 millimeter off-screen battery. And you'll get 3 options. It's barrage, emergency, and fire for effect. and they give different. Each one of those has different acquiring times, um, accuracy, and then like suppression rate, high, medium, and low. So if you need something quick, it's there. But if you want to do heavy damage, it's there. If you want to do an area effect, it's there. It's pretty cool. And the Germans have the railroad gun, so we can look at the German deck briefly. And in artillery, I think I already have it in my deck. So it's this guy that I'm looking at. Why? Oh, okay, there we go. So the railroad battery, 380 millimeter, right? That's pretty cool. So this little guy in the Jeep comes out, and he has a radius around him that he can see, and he can call in the railroad battery. Also on the Germans, I think, or was it the Americans, have a naval battery? Probably the Americans, right? So anyway, a lot of cool things, little mortar teams. Uh, Infantry is big in this game, but so are every other unit. Tanks and line of sight is huge. We'll get into that when we get into a mock skirmish, and you can see line of sight is big, and there's a lot of opportunities here. Even just you can drive a tank down into a crater and get that hole down, and it definitely has an effect on the enemy's ability to hit it. A lot of the anti-air ballistics will also fire on ground units. Of course, this is before that UN resolution. So where's the yeah, this thing right here? I've seen it one shot a Churchill and a Challenger. So also if it lands a shot on the enemy plane, it will make it evacuate before it gets its bomb off. So real slow rate of fire, similar to most tanks, but really cool unit. So kind of get an idea of what we're up against with this game. Limited decks, you get to choose from either American or British, or two types of Axis decks. And so the SS Panzer or the Luftland. So then there's different units in each. So whereas in this deck, my infantry might be the Panzer Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadier Leaders, MG42s. On my, what I call a support deck of that same one, I get, pardon my German, Ursastruppen and Jagers. So, yeah, stay tuned. We'll have definitely more videos here. And both for people new to this game, because I think we're going to see a lot of new players now that they have the Paradox team up, and for experienced or war game veteran players as well. So stay tuned. More videos to come.